Hey, I'm back. I'm Angel, and this is my photography channel as well as my filmmaking channel. And in this video, it's gonna be a rather short video. It's an introduction to a photo project that I've just started recently, with college being over, and I just finished my first year. I've learned a lot, and I've gained a lot of interest in what I want to do, and those interests I've gathered as like I've gathered them like Pokemons basically, but I put them down in my book, my photography book, and it's almost like this like tablet of like ideas that I want to do, and in that project, it's basically like this. I've kind of like really taken a keen on philosophy. I think it's cool, and this like philosophy concept that I've kind of taken an interest on is um, existentialism, which is like the philosophy of like human existence. And this might be like a stretch, but I think human existence deriving from vehicles is like a good example of that existentialism, because we made those cars. These cars have meaning. Yeah, so I think like using cars as an example of this philosophical concept is like really, I think it's interesting. I like it, and I think it'd be a really good experience. Nonetheless, I just my main goal is to find the right like vehicles to photograph, the right tone, the right atmosphere of like that picture. It's not like I approach any car and I can take a picture of it and say this is it. Well, you can argue that it might be a good example of that, but in this case, I want to have a set like mood to that picture. Like if I want to study um, an emotion in that picture, I'll do that by color, by lighting, by subject matter, and that's pretty much what I want to like go through this project. And yeah, sorry, Rocky. I've already started this project. These set of images that I will show are like test shots, I'd say, to see like what my capability is, because it's something new to me, with like the long exposures of stuff. Um, of course, I made a video on it last time, but that was on film, and it is easier for sure on digital cameras. But just because it's easy doesn't make it good. You know, it's you have to practice it, and this is like something that I've been trying to practice for like 2 years now, and it's tough. But the first image of this project, I think, is such a good example of what I want to get done in this project. I took this out in the city of Racine, and I was just driving. I had my camera on me, and I was drifting. And on my way back home, I took this picture because something about the lighting of these apartments I was passing by really caught my eye. Not the lighting, there's no lighting from the apartments itself, but the way the sky lit the apartments made me want to take that picture. And this is such a good example because it's not that I'm taking a picture in a car. Well, I have to like strictly take a picture of in a car, if that makes sense. Like if the picture is not of a car, it won't count as like what I want to get done in my project, if that makes sense. But in this picture, I'm driving, so obviously like that's already a dangerous thing to do. But anything for the shot. And yeah, I know this picture, I'm really proud of it. I absolutely love it. You can tell there's a lot of inspiration from Todd Hedo's work, and a lot of the photographers I look up to, and I appreciate their work and their knowledge, as creatives. So I like to point that out, of course. And yeah. All right. So this is another image that I took. This was later in the day of that same picture. Um, this is more of just a really long shot. really. It took me, I think, 3 minutes to take this photo. It was late at night, I believe, and yeah, it was really dark where I took this picture. While you might look at it, I'm like, oh, there's light. No, it was, it's long exposure. You get light from the time you take the picture. And yeah, I love this picture. I knew from the first test shot that I got that I was gonna love it. So it took me a few tries to get like the one I was pretty happy with. And yeah, it's just a picture of a few cars. I'd say like not junk cars, but like scrap or cars that need to be worked on. Cause the place where I was at, it was just like used cars that would have been modded with, and I like cars, so I thought it was really cool to take a picture of that, of the cars. But the image I'm most proud of that I took in that environment was this one. And this one is I think one of the images that in my time frame as a photographer, this image sticks out to me so much because one, it takes a lot of the inspiration that I get from filmmakers, neighbors. But this picture takes a lot of inspiration of the filmmakers I look up to. Wow. Yeah, and there is a lot going on in this picture, but that's what I wanted. I wanted to capture all of these cars combined in this composition. And yeah, I mean, you got like a buggy, you got a Jeep happen to be like positioned on a hill, and I don't know what the car on the right is, the white pickup truck. Yeah, but on the left, I'm pretty sure that's just another like pickup truck from like the 80s. But I don't know like a lot about cars, but I know my fair share, I guess. But I love this. I love this, and a good friend of mine asked about this photo, and they said something really kind. I really appreciate the comment. Thank you, Jordan. But they said that this image kept bringing them back. Like they kept looking back to it, and it made them kind of introduce like in this world of perspective illusion. And I thought that was like a good example of what I created, because it kind of is like that. It's like a frame within a frame, even though there's like that your traditional like lines coming in and out. It's just these cars. You got the headlight on the left, you got this buggy in the middle, you got this Jeep scaling the hill, and you got this like white pickup truck. It complements each other, and I really like that. And I'm just really proud of this picture, and I hope that I get a lot of that from this project, because this is a project I'm hoping that will last me like a year. It will come in like waves, basically. I'm gonna capture everything as memories, and that's the beauty as a photographer. We photographers capture memories, and it's our job to remember them. So I have my camera set up, ready for this picture. That I have it set up. It's like it's really hard to see, but it's on my door panel with the window. So like, actually, so maybe that light will help. But basically, I'm gonna go ahead and take the picture. But I have it set to time, which I have it calculated for a minute, and I have it opened up to f11 160 ISO, and it's pretty much just this open field in the farm, and you have these power lines cutting through, which I really love, and the blue sky coming to a night sky. um, I think it'll look really good. So this is really interesting, but I don't think you guys can hear this, but I can, since I'm right above the power lines. I can hear the electricity. I didn't know you can hear it. I mean, probably it's been a thing around. I don't know, you might not be able to hear it, but I think it's cool.